What's up guys, it's Shuichi here, and for today's video, I thought I would review a game similar to Call of Duty Zombies called Sker Ritual. Now I know this video may be a little out of my scope, considering I usually just analyze different topics like camping spots or I rank locations and all that, but I saw Sker Ritual pop up on my feed a lot lately, so I figured I'd give it a try. Of course, this is probably going to be a surface level review at the moment, considering I only have about 15 hours into the game, probably 20 by the time I'm done getting this footage, but I'd figured I'd see what the fuss was about. Basically with this video, there's going to be the good and the bad. Originally I was going to do the good, the bad, and the ugly, but while making this video I realized what was good and what was bad was ugly. There wasn't really a middle ground for me to put anything in the bad section. Maybe that just means I'm horrible at review videos, we'll find out soon. Anyways, let's start with the good. I find the best way to start off the good would be the map selection. Currently, the game offers a selection of 4 different maps, and each of the maps I find to be quite big. Each of the maps have their own theme, and I find them to be quite detailed in their own ways. Most important to me, I find that each one of them actually offers an easy-to-use training area. In fact, the first map actually offers way too many easy-to-use training areas. Thankfully, the game introduces some long-distance enemies that can shoot things like fireballs or lasers. Sounds cheesy, I know. Basically, I'm satisfied with all the maps, except for Sker Hotel, but that's because that one's small and narrow winding. It's annoying to get through if I'm being honest. Next up, I want to say the price point is one of the pros, considering for 25 bucks you got 4 different maps. This is great as a Call of Duty Zombies fan because we used to only get one zombie map every few months for about 15 bucks. Yeah, it came with about 4 DLC multiplayer maps, but you gotta remember, those maps never made it into rotation. I think in Black Ops 1, the only DLC map that I ever remember playing is Hotel. That is the only one that I would ever remember making it into any of the rotations. Moving on, I find that Sker Ritual's difficulty setting is actually one of its better points, considering it has 5 different settings and each of them either adds or takes away to the game's playstyle. Another thing that I kinda like and dislike at the same time is the mechanic system. Like, for instance, they introduced something called Miracles, which every 2 to 3 rounds you get a miracle point that you can use to upgrade one of 3 different things at a given time. These upgrades can consist of a few different things, such as strengthening your Molotov or changing how your melee works. But if I'm being honest, I don't really notice much of a difference when I use these upgrades. That's why I kinda consider it to be conflicting. Nonetheless, I do like the upgrades that it offers. I like some of the other changes with mechanics as well, such as the knifing system. Your knife is stronger, but you have to wait a second before you can knife an enemy again. While that sounds kinda stupid, I do like that I have a stronger knife and it doesn't become irrelevant as quick. Another thing that I like that the game incorporated is going to be its Easter eggs. The game offers both a Easter egg that you get guided through, and then after completing that, it offers a secondary Easter egg that you need to look through the map and find on your own. And I like that. I like the fact that it's like, hey, we'll help you with one, but you need to do the other on your own. I can't speak much on this topic right now, as I've only completed the first half of the Lavin Rock Easter egg. I haven't done the second half of that one, nor have I done any of the other maps yet. My last point for the good that I saved because it's both a good and a bad is going to be the lore. For the lore, it offers 53 pieces of collectible sheets that you can find throughout the maps or by killing enemies. Once obtained, you can go to the extra page on the main menu and look through each of the pieces of lore you got. It's going to be in order and they're going to be like diary pieces, I guess. But with that being said, I need to start leading into the bad part of the game. And starting with the bad part, we're going to go back into the lore. And, you know, I read through the lore pieces, and all it kept mentioning was siren this, siren that, siren this, siren that. There wasn't really much detail in the lore pieces at all. Like, I get that's what the story is for, but I didn't pick up anything from reading these little pieces. I think the only detail that I picked up from reading the lore was that the mother was like Maxis, where she started out calm and collected with her research and then she just started losing her shit. And you know, it kills me because you're not trying to be like Call of Duty Zombies in the story sense, you're just trying to be like Call of Duty Zombies in the fact that everybody liked the round-based game mode with these fun Easter eggs that you could do. Which somehow leads me into my next point, that the game rips off the mechanics from the worst Treyarch Call of Duty Zombies, Cold War Zombies. Like, why would you rip off from that one? Such as the point system. You don't get points for every shot, you get points for every kill, and even then I feel like I'm not earning points properly. I mean, I could kill zombies with the triple point modifier that the game offers, and I'd still not have that many points by the end of the round. I feel like by round 30, instead of having like a 60k points, I'd only have probably 20k. Another thing that the game took is the pack punch machine, such as tier 1 gets you 5,000 points, tier 2 costs 15,000, tier 3 costs 30,000, and in order to get the highest tier upgrade, you have to use the half off coupon because the points you just don't earn. Yes, there's a half off thing, and I feel like the half off is kind of counterintuitive because you just wait to pack punch for when you have that, because you just can't earn the points to afford it. Lastly, with the ripping off thing, the game takes from the whole perk system where it's like, hey, you can collect these gems throughout playing the rounds and you get to upgrade the perks. Thing is they weren't unique about it. They were like, hey, okay, Jug, you just get 10% extra health, 25% extra health, 50% extra health as you upgrade these. And I'm like, if you're gonna rip it off, at least be unique about it. Don't just make it lame. Now, if I'm being honest, I don't really notice much of an upgrade when I actually do snag these. I don't know, the whole health and damage system is weird in the game. Moving on, I find that the game suffers from a serious case of silence. To some, silence may add a bit of eeriness on a map, but for me it just makes it boring as hell. Some music across the map would make it feel better, even if it's just coming from like a broken record player or something, you know, map-wise. I find that if you want to make a lore deep game like this, you really should have a cast of characters to keep the dialogue going. Exploring new sections, taking out enemies, interacting with the environment, random dialogue exchanges. Create some characters that talk. Even if there are already 4 maps out, you can easily insert some characters into the story and still make them relevant in some sort of way. That's a good part of the reason that Call of Duty Zombies did so well. You had this cast of characters that the players just fell in love with. They managed to fill the silence while the players were just slaughtering zombies away. As a counterpoint, this is one of the reasons that World War II Zombies failed, as well as the current Treyarch Zombies. There's no cast of characters. Okay, shifting away from comparisons, we're gonna have my biggest grievance in this whole damn thing, and that's gonna be the kill time. Tell me, why do I have a tier 4 pack punch assault rifle struggling to kill zombies on round 30 on normal difficulty? What the fuck is going on? The worst part is I even upgraded it to level 5 thinking, hey, this would make a difference. It didn't make much of a difference. I know, I sound like a whiny little bitch, but you know, I kinda expect my weapons to kill, but they're not killing. What makes it worse is I try to use the Wonder Weapon on an early round, but this Wonderwolf knockoff is still taking 2 to 3 shots on round 7. Maybe this grievance is just me, but I kinda want my weapons to actually do something instead of feeling like paperweights. And while we're on the topic of weapons, which is actually going to be the last 2 points on the negative side, the lack of weapons is discouraging. I know it's a new game, I know it's zombies focused, and it doesn't really have much of a pool to choose from, but at the time of this video, I think there was probably, 2 pistols, 1 SMG, 1 assault rifle, 2 to 3 shotguns, 1 LMG, and maybe 2 to 3 melee weapons? Not counting the wonder weapons of each map, but I kind of want more weapons to choose from, you know, each that have like maybe different rates of fire or damage. I don't know, just the lack of weapons is not great. And now I know I'm probably wrong, but you know, the mystery dog, which has no animation by the way, it just pops up a weapon out of thin air, doesn't offer me anything other than a melee weapon or a pistol. I try to re-roll it and re-roll it and re-roll it and re-roll it, but all it ever offers me is a pistol or a melee weapon. Sometimes the sawed-off shotgun. I think I've only seen the LMG in it once. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to get a weapon when the thing doesn't really offer you any weapons. It's not really random at that point. Lastly, while we're on the topic of the dog and stuff, dude, I am sick of hearing that girl say, "Oh my god, it's our trusted companion, Lucky!" It's a weird thing to bitch about, I know, but I don't know if it's the audio or her voice acting. It's just horrible. With that being said, let's wrap this video up because I've already extended it 9 minutes somehow. As you could see, the good was okay and the bad was bad. Would I give this a good score? Let's say from 1 to 5 being unplayable, 6 to 10 being playable, I'd give it probably a 6, maybe a 7. Like, I could see myself playing it more, but there's a lot of things it really needs to work on. Like, my main 2 points to work on would probably be the kill time and the lack of characters. I don't know if that's what you were going for, but if it's because voice acting costs, I would be willing to do a character for free. I know my acting ain't great, but if you could add characters that have some dialogue, bickering, or something, it would make it a lot better. I mean, after all, characters are a great way to add lore to a game. Anyways, I think my final review is going to be 6. It could be a lot better, but I still think it's playable. You gotta remember, it's by an indie company, they're trying their best, and I heard that they're trying to take advice from the community. Of course, I probably wouldn't want to take advice from somebody that was aggressive with their negatives, but you know, sometimes that's the best way to take advice. Then again, I am some nobody on the internet, so I wouldn't take advice from me either. That's gonna wrap it up for this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, whatever you tend to do with your favorite videos. And as always, don't die.